What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a video. It's been a while since I've been on, and I'm sorry. Life gets in the way, work gets in the way, kids and wife have me doing stuff all the time. Big shocker there. But man, I've been bored all afternoon, and I decided to get off my lazy butt and make a quick video. I've been watching fellow YouTubers, Blacked Out Ewoks. He's put up a bunch of really cool videos on some rare items. And he got me jealous because I wanted to have some videos of my own up. So anyway, I decided to take a closer look at two items from the latest batch of items that came back from Collector Archive Services that were in the unboxing video. I think, unfortunately, it was my last video, which was over a week ago. So I've been very lazy about putting some new videos up. For those of you who actually care about what some of the stuff in my collection, I encourage you to go to Instagram, which is at Action Figure Grader. Because it takes so much less time to just post a photo, I've been posting a lot of cool photos of various items in my collection. Some of them you've seen, some of them you've not seen in terms of my YouTube content. But anyway, if you ever want to check that out, I try to post something on there once a day or once every 2 days. So sometimes more than one a day. I think I put in 3 today. So, but anyway, the reason for the video, I thought we would take a look at these two Mexican bootlegs that just came back from Collector Archive Services. I'll tell you a little bit about them, kind of things to look out for if you're looking for one yourself. And then, since we just kind of glossed over it real quick, I thought we'd compare it to my Lili Ledy Mexican-made licensed Yoda, which is actually the only licensed graded Yoda in my collection. And Yoda is going to be one of my areas of focus for next year once I get through all this grading stuff I've got. I think I've got like 14 carded figures and a bunch of bootlegs and some licensed figures that are all just in boxes that I'm trying to get through this fall. So, new purchases, as I've mentioned, are pretty minimal, but Yoda is going to be one that I focus on next year. I'm going to try and get a few more variants of him early next year if money cooperates with me. But let's take a look at these two bootleg Yodas. Now, the first one is a fairly easy one to acquire, but you got to be careful for fakes out there. This is a 1990s Mexican necklace bootleg Yoda. And, I'll see if I can get to zoom in a little bit here. You can see there at the top of his head, he's got that hole right here. It's a little easier with my finger behind it, but God only knows what that is on my finger. I hope that's dirt. I have no idea. So, that I really need to wash my hands before I start playing with my action figures. But anyway, this is a 1990s bootleg. You can see how poor the paint is around the belt, and you can see they even painted some of the snake and then some of the cane. It's just really poorly applied paint. But this is a 1990s bootleg. All of these 1990s unarticulated bootleg necklace Yodas, they all come with this cane that is attached by a factory sprue there on his left side, and then on his right side off the elbow they have the snake. And if you're looking for one of these, I think your best bet would probably be certainly they come up on eBay. The problem is on eBay is that all the customizers down in Mexico are recreating this exact mold. I guess they got a hold of this mold and are recreating these by the boatload. And so you can buy a recreated kind of modern custom of this figure for like $10 on eBay. So you got to be, and they're getting smarter now too. Originally, maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago or even into last year, they were very easy to spot. They had swirls throughout the paint, white swirls. They were often in kind of wackier colors than even this is. Reds and yellows and all kinds of weird bright colors. And they're usually unpainted. They've gotten smarter though. The customizers nowadays are using a very similar color for these modern customs that are supposed to emulate these 1990s ones. And even these 1990s ones are not that expensive. I mean, I think I paid 30 or 40 bucks for it. You can probably get it for even cheaper if you're patient. But I think your best bet if you're trying to find one of these is to go into the bootleg group on Facebook. It's really easy to find. You can message me if you're having trouble finding it. But these are not hard to find. You can find these for, I'd say at most 50 bucks, but probably more like between 20 and 40. But here's the label on it: 1990s Mexican Star Wars Yoda necklace, unarticulated bootleg on sprue. And it came back with a 65, which is probably about right for the condition it's in. It's just not very well painted. It's mainly paint. I mean, the plastic itself is pretty well molded, but this is a 1990s. But if you are interested in finding one of these, don't pay $10 to a customizer on eBay for a modern piece of junk that's not really have any kind of intrinsic historical value. If you want one of these, go on Facebook. You're not going to pay that much more for it, and you get an actual 1990s bootleg. So, you know, that's my 2 cents on it. Oftentimes you will see that these pieces are broken off, so you got to be careful of that, but they should still be attached. If they're being marketed as having them unattached, you know, it's up to you. But to me, I think if you're going to get one, you might as well just get one that has all the proper attachments to it. So that's the 1990s. Really easy to acquire, not hard to find, but still, I figured since I had this 1980s one in the middle here, why not, and I got this one as part of a group lot. I mean, this guy was just dumping them, and I decided to go ahead and pick up that Yoda too. But this is the one that is the moneymaker right here. This is a really, really nice one. This is a true 1980s, early 1980s Yoda bootleg. And again, it has the hole on the head, but the cane and the snake are unattached. So you can kind of see there the snake. It's very similar to the license figure. Now, and you can see the utility belt there. Now, there's all kinds of different colors for this. This is semi-articulated, so the arms do move. But there are all kinds of different colors for the cape, or the robe, I guess, the utility belt, and the cane. The canes I have seen in brown, this kind of whitish brown. I've even seen pink. Same for the utility belt. This is like a darker, not super dark, but it's a fairly, I guess you call it like a tan brown robe. The snakes can also come in white or brown. I don't know if I think I've seen pink as well. But the robe is usually either a very bright kind of color that is similar to the license figure, or you get this kind of brownish color. So, but you know, this is something that you know, again, it's not an impossible figure to find. There was a bootleg find, or there was a find of these down in Mexico, like a barn find or whatever you want to call it, of a bunch of overstock examples of this, and they're still in the baggies. Those go for anywhere from $350 to $450 US dollars, $350 to $450, still in the bag. These you can pick up for as cheap as $250 to $300, depending on condition. The paint on these does come off very, very easily. So you'll see a lot of examples where the paint is flaking off, and Yoda's face especially and hands get the most of the damage. But this is a very nice example, though. This is an 80-plus score Yoda necklace, semi-articulated 1980s Mexican bootleg. So a really nice example. I got this from a friend of mine down in Mexico, and one of the it's not a rare one, but it's not cheap either. So this is a true 1980s though, and you're going to pay a little bit of money for it, but it's just a beautiful figure, and I really like the fact that it's got that hole above the head, because kids, I guess, in the 80s, they would, put it around their neck and be able to carry it around with them. And, but a very cool figure. But there's all kinds of different color combinations for the snake, the cape, the utility belt, cane, all that. There's all kinds of different color combinations. So, and I've seen a lineup of those things where this guy had like 10 different combinations. So pretty cool. And, I guess we can compare the two of these, just so you can kind of see the Lili Ledy. Now, this is the Regresso version of the Lili Ledy version, the Lili Ledy Yoda, excuse me. So, when I say Regresso versus Returno, it basically delineates which version, whether it's the later version that came on the Returno card backs, on the Lili Ledy card backs, or the Regresso Jedi card backs. That was an earlier version, earlier mold, different colors. For the Returno, which is the more rare version, you probably pay about a 25 to 30% premium versus this Regresso version. But the Returno version has a lighter green skin. And Dustin's a friend of mine. He watches my channel. Dustin, please correct me in the comments if I'm saying anything incorrectly. But I believe that the cane is the same for both versions. But the figure itself has got a lighter green skin with like reddish eyes. It's actually the same mold, I believe, as the PBP, Spanish PBP version. So, but this is the Regresso later version of Yoda. Still I mean, give me a break. This is a Lili Ledy Yoda. And so it's still a beautiful figure and commands, you know, high dollars. But there are two different versions of the Lili Ledy Yoda. So I've got the later version of the two. And again, in case you don't remember, figure 90, paint 85, cape 85, Lili Ledy, no CEO, brown cape, or brown snake, excuse me. So, but you can kind of compare the two of them here and just see just how similar of a job the bootleggers did and matching up the figure. But it's almost an exact copy. They just did a great job with how they matched it up. So anyway, I was getting jealous, man. You know, I see all these great figures on Blacked Out Ewoks' channel, and I just wanted to at least talk about a few of mine. And these are ones that were kind of at the top of my list. But there's obviously a number of different variants for the Yoda license figures. You know, they got the Hong Kong Orange Snake, Hong Kong Brown Snake. You got the PBP. You got the POC. You got the two different Lili Ledys. You got the Made in Hong Kong tagged robe version of Yoda, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some others, but there's a ton of different ones out there, and lots of different snake combination. I think there's a green snake, brown snake, and an orange snake, if memory serves. But I have not dug in too hard on the different licensed variants quite yet, but that will be a project for next year for sure. Anyway, thank you for watching, and just let me know if you have any questions.